And Ashley, we know Congress has already been cutting checks. Obviously, there was these three different waves, more than 3,000 per student, a total of 189 billion dollars, and the money has to be spent by 2024. So districts need to have these spending plans, up and running.
And many of them do. I think depending on where you are, right? Because those allocations are based on your size and your needs. So some of the largest districts across our country have gotten the biggest checks. And I think, I was on a webinar the other day and I heard that it was a very large district in Texas who was talking about, they have a plan. It's been informed by their community. Sounds awesome. There was even this fear though. They were like, we've been begging for money for decades from the federal government to help improve the infrastructure of our schools to allow us to be more flexible with a lot of things, and so now we haven't. She's like, we're nervous. So it is good. The districts have the money. Some of them are asking their families and making sure there's community there and informing it. I think that needs to increase, because you need to make sure that parents and families are getting what they need out of those dollars. But then I think it all comes back to infrastructure. I think we're going to see a year from now, 2024, when the bills come in, right, on what everybody spent their money on. This is the largest infusion in public education in my recent memory, and maybe others, where we had schools, and you see this in the Build Back Better plan and all of that, like there's lead in their buildings, right? I could not drink out of the faucets in the school I taught in, and that was 10 years ago. That's not okay. That's still happening. There's no air conditioning. With climate change, that is an incredibly challenging, like, structural problem that can prevent learning, right? And so I don't think it's a negative, and I hope people don't wrap that up, that when we see big investments in infrastructure, that they didn't do enough to support learning, because those infrastructure pieces are critical and they've been so long overdue. Even as small as playgrounds, like you hear that the mayor-elect talking about smiles and face masks. How about a kid who's only had asphalt, right, on their play space? Like, that is completely unacceptable. So I think that's what we're going to see. I know some communities still need to be heard, and so I hope more districts continue to reach out. But yeah, there's money there, and there's a lot of solutions.